Change started to a series of trails. Today again we have a very special guest, Abhinav Bajpai. He is the co-founder of a vegan cafe, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a cafe which serves food, obviously, but it has those or spices of environment and sustainability to add that extra flavor to your food. And they are based out of Kolkata. So let's hear from Abhinav on his journey, on his plans, and his idea of environment and sustainability. So welcome, Abhinav.
Hi, Varun. Thank you so much.
So why don't you, you have a very interesting name of your cafe, that is Ubuntu. So why don't, and you posted something on social media, so why don't you share that story of what does it mean, right? So
this story was introduced to me through social media. The story is like this. So story is basically from an African tribe, a tribe which is known to be always happy. So one curious person who heard about this tribe decided that I will visit to the tribe and I will prove to this world either it is real or it is not. So he decides to go there. The moment he reaches to the tribe, and then when he's entering into the tribe, a bunch of children, around 50 children, run towards him to welcome him by small gifts like fruits and sweets and flowers, whatever they could get. They just brought for him that welcome to our tribe. Now this became a surprising introduction for him, because from the town he comes, what is taught to the children that avoid strangers, don't talk to them. But in this place I am just entering and they are like, they already know me. It's like that. So he's very happy, and in that he just remembers I am the elder one and I am supposed to give them because they are children. So he searches his bag, he's trying to find something, and then he gets some chocolates. Now those chocolates are not much, they are maybe 15, 20 in the numbers, and children are 50. So he thinks that it's very difficult to divide. Let me play a game with them. In that way they will be entertained, and whoever wins will get the candies and chocolates. He says, okay, let's play a game. The game is going to be this. So you see a tree. So he keeps the chocolates, a box of chocolate under the tree. Then he asks all the children to stand 100 meters away. And I count to 3, 1, 2, 3, you run. And the child who will be the fastest will win the box of chocolate. Simple. He says, okay, so let's start. 1, 2, 3, run. Nobody runs. In fact, they start holding their hand together and walk. All of the 50 children walk to the tree. They sit down in a circle. They open the box of chocolate. They find there are less numbers. So they start dividing in a fashion that everybody eats equal. They finish it. They stand together. They hold their hand and they scream, we all won. Now he is again shocked, because in nowhere in the world children will not have the competitive spirit, and they will always fight, especially for chocolate. So he's shocked, and in that moment only parents have come out of the tribe and they all are clapping that all of their children have won. So he's again shocked that what kind of parents are they? Normally parents are happy when their child wins, right? In this tribe everybody is happy. So he's shocked. Then he asked them that, how did this happen? How is it possible that you are clapping on all of the children? So they say, Ubuntu. So Ubuntu, what is Ubuntu? So he says, Ubuntu means I am because we are, in English. It means for us in practice that whatever comes to our tribe, it may be sorrow, it may be happiness, it may be food, it may be water, whatever, we divide it equally. Nobody gets less, nobody gets more, and that's how we live in our daily life. And I think that is the reason we are always happy. There's no division. So that's the story of Ubuntu, which when I heard, it changed my lens of seeing the world, because we all in our own background and culture society have been taught that there are so many divisions in the society. Some people are upper, some people are lower. So we are full of divisions, so many of divisions that you can't count them. And this story was like, it broke the whole kingdom of the division. Like every wall was gone after this story came to my learning. And I started seeing world in a different format, that everybody is equal and we also deserve happiness. And that's how the idea of cafe also came. So yeah, this is the story of it.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And if you relate it with nature and environment and this planet, right? So this is one single planet and all of us are living. So it is our duty and obligation to support it, to contribute towards it. So it is so much relatable to our environment and nature. So absolutely great, a very nice name. So let's start your journey for this cafe. How did this idea came to start this cafe?
When I left my IT job in 2013, I left it for my passion for environment, nature. So I started working with an organization named Greenpeace. It's an international organization, works for climate change and several environmental issues. And I was impressed with their work, so I started working with them full time in Mumbai. When I joined this organization, I realized that I am not an environmentalist in practice. I may be from my inside, I may be thinking that I am a better person, but I had so many of habits and practices which were like devastating for environment and nature. So I thought that I can't be a part of organization and represent them unless I be that. So I started working on myself. And the first habit which I caught was being a minimalist. So I'm a minimalist. Minimalist means that need, not greed, in short. So whenever I feel there is a need of something, then only I go ahead and buy it or purchase it. Second habit I got was cycling. So I bought a cycle, and till date, cycle has become my chariot. For any distance around 10 kilometers and all, I just use my cycle. Third habit I got was veganism. So I was explored to more and more knowledge about how to become environment friendly. So in 2015, I saw a YouTube talk. I watched that video and it immediately brought this angle to me that how the food which we eat, how much disconnected we are to that food. Like we see the food only when it comes on plate, while that there is a 99% story is beyond that. That's just 1% of it, and there's every factor has a good and bad in it. And if we start analyzing, we can see the food is a very powerful tool to create positive or negative impact in the world while you just sit for 10 minutes to eat. It is not 10 minutes of eating, it is years of either positive energy in the world or the negative energy in the world. So when I got like, that was the most shocking moment for me when I got to know that what food is doing to this world is beyond any imagination of what we think about plastic. Like, or when we talk about plastic and other issues, yes, they are big, but food is on some other level. It's like monster. And I was shocked. For at least for a week, I was not able to digest it. I was thinking that maybe the video is fake, or this fake, there's some agenda going on behind. But my curious mind, I started learning more, and then I saw, oh my god, what is happening in the world and how it is hiding. So there are so many Netflix documentaries. My favorite is Cowspiracy. It is so powerful that it was denied of funding to be released in any platform. But then Leonardo DiCaprio, because he works intensively for environment, he came ahead to give it funds so that it can come on Netflix. Until then, it has changed many lives. So Cowspiracy is powerful. Then Forks Over Knives is powerful. What the Health, and Game Changer is the recent one, which is very powerful documentary. These four documentaries we see, it can totally give you the overall why the food is so important. Then the moment I learned about this concept, I believe be the change you want to see in others. So I first took time inside to change myself, because I was that time non-veg eater. And when I became vegan, from that day onwards, which is 2015 July, till today, I have not stopped talking about that issue. So when I came to Calcutta, I found this city is like anti-veganism is going on here. Like other places, there is still some sinking. But Bengalis culture is so much filled with meat and dairy consumption. And it is like taken as matter of pride. It's just not food. It is about your identity. You lose it, you lose the identity only. It's like that. So I saw problem is huge here. And wherever I went, I was happy with the factor that everywhere there was at least one or more vegan places, 100% vegan places. Bangalore had 4, Pune had 3, Mumbai had 4, 5, Delhi had 2, Hyderabad had 2. So Calcutta was 0. So this 0 was also pinching me and it was hurting me. So I told, I'll make this score 1. Though I do not have any knowledge of cooking, but the whole idea of what is happening in the city and what should happen in the city just brought this idea that I'll do it. And then I started, I left my favorite job in the world, which was Greenpeace job, in 2018 December. And I went ahead. And so to do anything, you need to first learn from basic. So because I did not know the basic, I went and worked for around 5 to 6 months in cafes, just as a basic server and cook and chef in the kitchen, in the serving areas, to get that whole basic in me. I loved that new learning. And then I came to Calcutta, and then I called my closest friend. So now we are 4 people. I'm the co-founder, and I have friend Vikas, Shreya, and Richie. We 4 people. And then I called them that this is we are going to do. Are you in? So they are all passionate, but maybe they are not the initiator. I just took the responsibility of initiating it, but I could not do it if they were not on uh, the platform with me. So 2019 September, finally we launched it, the Ubuntu Community Cafe, which is Calcutta's first all vegan sustainability cafe.
Great, Abhinav. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And you touched the right chord, right? I mean, Calcutta, Kolkata, Bengalis, known for their fish, known for their sandesh, known for their rasgulla, but you will not hear anything about vegetarian. So absolutely fantastic. So one more question, I mean, one more follow-up question on the food. So you alluded to it. So just for the audience, I mean, if you can elaborate a little more on how food is connected with climate, right? I mean, the emissions part, you're feeding the cows, especially the meat industry. So just maybe you can spend a minute or so on that part.
So I'll give the example. So overall, the agriculture has a huge amount of greenhouse gas emission, land uses, and water uses. So when we talk about environmental impacts, we mainly cover these three things: water uses, land uses, and greenhouse gas. And because the whole world is consuming food 3 times in a day, there is no more frequent activity than this, which is dependent upon others others to produce, right? We are breathing, obviously, but breathing is natural, right? So the industry is huge. So I'll talk about one part of this food, which is chicken, because chicken is by large consumed in India, all direction, right? Like Bengal, maybe fish higher, but still chicken is there. In North India, maybe chicken higher, and there are parts where the mutton is higher, the part of beef is higher, but chicken is like all over India. So I'll talk example of chicken, and then we'll connect from there. So chicken, normally I ask this question to people. Maybe Varun, you can become my prospect here. That when we go out to have chicken, what will be the approximate age of that chicken? Like some months or what will be that age? The chicken which is like of 1.5 to 2 kg size. What would be the age?
About 1 year.
About 1 year.
1 year.
About 1 year. Okay. So you are right in point that how people respond. The thing that it is going to be some months or 1 year, but you are wrong factually. Now the answer for this question is, hold something because you're going to get shocked. 45 days.
Oh my God.
That's the average age of that chicken. It's a baby which has become a balloon. A baby which from the birth was given steroid injections, high protein food to just gain the weight as fast as possible. And if you notice, it is very much visible, because whenever you buy this chicken, they are crammed in one cage. You put any chicken out of that cage also, they will still not run. They will be sitting there only because their legs are baby legs which cannot hold the weight of an adult. And most of their legs are broken. The bones inside are broken, are not functioning, because when their weight was growing, their legs already broke, stop functioning. And these chicken are so sick from inside, because from that 41 day to 45 day, everything they receive is steroid, antibiotics, hormone insulators, and the food which is processed food produced for them. So then in 45 days only, they are already very sick. Some of their heart is going to collapse, some of them their lungs are going to collapse, for some is kidney going to collapse, they're going to collapse. And in 9 months or in 3 months to 4 months, they die of their own diseases inside. So they burst from inside, and the target for the industry is basically to sell you before that 3 months. So they sell as fast as possible. But they are not worried about the overall industry, because if you don't buy, it is sold to the restaurant industry, to the food industry, when the chicken is actually dead of their own sickness in a cheaper prices. So it doesn't go in loss, it goes on less lower profit. So when people go to buy the chicken, they make sure that they buy seeing the healthiest chicken, and the other chicken they will not consume. But on Sunday, when they decide to go out to McDonald's or KFC or maybe any other restaurants, they actually eat that chicken which they did not buy from that shop. So now in chicken, when I was telling what is go, so I am giving you some numbers here. So this chicken in 45 days, whatever the food they're eating, the food is consisting lot of grains. It is not like stones. It is grains, because grains have highest protein. So dal, soybean, peas, rice, lentils, and all these things are mixed up in a form that is higher protein, and then other chemicals are mixed with that and then given through them. In 45 days constantly eating make them eat around 8 kg of grain, one chicken. So if I take the rice as example, 8 kg of rice if we cook, do you know, Varun, how many people can eat if we cook 8 kg of rice? Or if 1 kg, how many people can eat, and then multiply with 8? Any idea?
Yeah, so I think generally we will be eating about 250 grams. So for 1 kg.
250 gram means you are a good eater, otherwise 200 gram. Because rice, when 200 gram rice, when it will boil, no, it will actually become 300, 400 gram. So 400 gram rice eating is not possible. So 200 grams. So you can say 5 to 6 people in 1 kg.
Yeah.
Okay, good, like young. So if you multiply with that 8, how many people it comes to? 40 to 50. Yes. So 40 to 50 people food was given to one chicken, and when one chicken was sold and by consumed, so how many people will eat that one chicken?
Maybe 2 people.
Maybe 2. On higher side, I'll take 4 average. So now if you put this like 40 people food, and in between a chicken is a converter of that 40 people food into 4 people food. So one chicken is a converter of 10 times lesser food which was in the world. And now you multiply with is I think it's an average figure which is close by, maybe higher only, is 7 crore is the chicken number sold in a week in India. So if you multiply that converter with 7 crore, you will actually collapse by seeing that how can this much of food from this side is going to this side. So it's unbelievable. It's just chicken. Now if I change the chicken from a bigger animal like goat, this number increases, because goat is a heavy body. It eats more and it produces less. And if I replace it with beef, a cow or pig, it just becomes worse and worse and worse. So this was a food problem, which is, so when we talk about in India is so much agriculture rich country that if you travel in train, in no matter which direction you go, for 1 hour of journey, 45 minutes will be only agricultural land, minimum. And still we see that in the country there is a hunger problem. We have one of the top malnutrition, rank 1 in malnutrition children in the world. We have food price going up. So where all the food is going? This is the converter. This is the equation where the food is going. So agriculture is divided into 2 parts. One is for human consumption, and one is for the animal who will be consumed by humans back. So this second one is the bigger monster. The first one was still monster because of chemicals and pesticides, but the second one is like the father of the monster. Now this is the food. When you talk about water, so the water we call carbon footprint, water footprint. These 2 are factors we call. Water footprint of chicken is to produce one chicken, how much water was overall used. So the agriculture which was produced to feed the chicken is part of that water is used. So it's around 4,325 liter. That's the water amount for one chicken. Now again, shocking fact, because water is like next war maybe possible on water, right? That's what we have heard so many times. Cities are going like cities like Bangalore are already told that there will be no drinking water by 2025 and all that is there. And we are feeding 4,000 liter of water to one chicken, and everybody is okay about it. So I couldn't be okay about it. And so these are the 2 factors. And again, if I change this equation from other higher animal, bigger animal, it just goes worse and worse. And if I go to egg, so egg is around 3000 liter of water. If I go little lower, egg is 3000, cheese is 3000. And if you go to plant-based milk like soy milk is around so milk, dairy milk is around 1000 liter of water for 1 liter. All of these factors are there on internet. You can Google, but you have to go there voluntarily. Google this information is not going to come to you like other information advertisement come, because advertisements make profit to someone. These awareness do not make profit but make loss to the industry, so hence obviously they will not come voluntarily to you. It is our responsibility to go and Google. So I've given like a top layer of it, and I given you documentary names. If people go and find out, they can actually see what more is impacting, even the greenhouse gas. So it is all well known that greenhouse gas wise, the whole livestock industry, which is meat industry, produces more greenhouse gas than the whole transport industry of the world. So I think everybody is somewhere aware that carpooling is a good way to go, public transport is a better way to go, cycling is a good way to go. But then that is smaller problem or smaller solution. If you change your diet to plant-based, you will actually change it by doing less effort, because carpooling and all this has a lot of efforts, but these things doesn't effort. You just today you told, okay, I'll not eat chicken, I will eat one sabji, one roti, a chawal and dal and achar. Sorted.
And also I believe we need to add the antibiotics part as well, which is going into that feed, which is again harmful for you when you're eating the chicken. So it's a big problem. So why don't you tell more about your cafe? I mean, how does it?
Sure.
It's a vegetarian cafe.
So the Ubuntu Community Cafe is basically designed around sustainability. So right now I'm sitting on a seat which is an old Omni van seat. So Omni car, kidnapping car. So we kidnapped a seat from that car, which was somewhere dumped in a garage. It was not of use. So we have around 20 people sitting in this cafe, and all the furniture has come from the waste of industry. There is a car seat, there is a van seat. The table on which I am actually having this meeting is a cargo wooden waste of that industry. So furniture is eco-friendly. Decoration is also eco-friendly. You will find a lot of old bottles converted into plants and some designs. We have a refrigerator which was again a waste. Now it is a small library in the cafe. People can gift book in that. People can take book from that. No money transaction required for that. So we have this interior which is sustainable. Food, because as I told, vegan food is right now the most sustainable way of eating. Though when you turn vegan, you again find out that in vegan also there are up and low of sustainability. But overall, a vegan diet is sustainable than non-vegan diet currently. So the whole food is vegan. We have but smartly designed the menu because we know our targets. So many people say, okay, I'm a vegetarian. What is there for in your cafe? So we boldly say that this cafe is actually unfriendly to vegetarian and vegan. It is friendly to non-vegans, because my target is people who are eating meat and dairy. You are already transformed. You will definitely find 20-30% of the item in the menu which are like vegetarian or vegan, but 80% of the menu is named as fish fry. So we have fish which is plant-based fish. Bengali love fish fry, but it is designed in a way that they get the same, that mental and salival satisfaction when they eat our fish fry. Our menu has chicken sandwich. Our menu has unmutton pizza. Our menu has sahi vada. So sahi vada is basically dahi sahi tarike se banaya hua. When you make it in the right way, it's called sahi. So sahi vada. Our menu has kosha mangshu. Kosha mangshu is a very popular Bengali dish where the mutton is having a very thick gravy of spices. So we have that. So it's a very popular Bengali dish. Every Sunday, people want to eat that only, and we have that in the menu, which is one of the top seller of the menu. So these are the few things in our menu which are made, and there is a twist how I call it fish fry. So I don't make people fool about it. The written format of fish fry is FYSH. It's not that I am writing FISH and I'm giving something. So the term is different. When I write chicken, is a CHYCKEN. When I call it mutton, I call it unmutton. When I call it shrimp, we have shrimps also. So the spelling is again different. It's YMP. When we call it milk, we call it MYLK. So we given a twist. It is only when you do not, if you do not actually and read it, you don't understand. If you hear it and you taste it, it's same. It sounds like chicken and it tastes like chicken, but there's a twist in between. So I want people, because not everybody is so passionate like me, that they will take so much of effort of knowing this and then taking the transitional journey. I want people that you enjoy your own life. You have your fish fry, you have your chicken, you have kosha mangsho, but let the other the whole world thrive while you also thrive. So come to this cafe and enjoy these dishes. So these are dishes. Other than that, we have packaging. Packaging is very important for a cafe. So our packaging is fully plastic free. We use Buggies. Buggies is a sugar cane crush product. That is the box made of, so compostable. The outer bag is made of newspaper, so we are upcycling the old paper. And spoons and all are made of supadi and all that material. So packaging is also eco-friendly. We do not have air condition because we don't want people to believe that you can control air and environment. Because with air condition, people think that I got the remote and I can control my temperature, which is totally a fake environment. So we tell people, you come to this cafe, this world is hot, you'll feel hot. This world is cold, you'll feel cold. You feel what the world is because you're part of the world. And you and me together have built this world to this situation. Once you feel that reality, you take actions also in that reality. If you are always cut off from that reality, that I don't know, whatever the temperature outside, my temperature is already 25, then obviously you'll not act to solve it. So we have that angle to it.
So it sounds very tempting. So what is Abhinav's favorite dish?
My favorite, because I have been always dessert lover. So my favorite dish is chocolate brownie here. So which I only make. So I'm also a chef because I got trained before. So I created desserts. I created pizzas. My favorite dish is brownie. So I do not eat much of the dishes because obviously I live here. So we make it for people, so we get bored of it. But brownie is something which I can eat as many as I wish to, and I keep eating it like every week, 2-3 times I eat it.
So anybody going to your cafe should have a brownie for sure. So,
I think everybody should have what they love, because I want them to find their weaknesses and then get the replacement of that. If your weakness is cheese, you have a cheesy pizza. If your weakness is fish, you have fish fry. Because I want you to get out of that weakness which is there, that my tongue is not allowing me to think. That's what is happening with the people, that they're stuck here. I want that to get off from that blockage and let brain get the real nutrients and real knowledge.
Correct. So what is your future plans, Abhinav? How do you want to take this ahead? You want to?
So my future plan is to save the world from all this problem. I have been working on that goal overall. How to achieve that goal? I was doing activism. Now I have this cafe. I just keep going with the time. What current time needs. So right now I think that world needs this transition from heavy non-vegan consumption to a vegan consumption. So I'm going to just support that conversion. But other than and for that, obviously I have to have some more Ubuntu, not only at one place. So we are already inside talking about having some takeaways, some cloud kitchens in the city, and then maybe all over India, as and when the time is right and we see. Because the corona definitely had some amount of pause in our plans. So working on that. Other than that, I personally have interest in environment. So I keep working with environmental groups. For example, there is a group named Climate Healers. Climate Healers is a global group of scientists and researchers who do actively research on this topic and come up with the studies and promote that into the education system and to the system. There is a fact nobody can come and that okay, but as long as the fact is more like I feel, so there is so much clash in the world right now, because I feel vegan is the future and they feel it's not, but they are trying to establish that why vegan is future, and if there is a future, it's a vegan future, otherwise there is no future at all. So one of their strongest finding, which actually attracted me towards that joining that group, that is that by 2026, which is just 6 years from now, we will have almost zero wildlife population in the world.
Okay.
Like hardly any elephant and giraffe and lion and all that will be remained. And they have come up with the intense white paper, so it's not like again feeling that what is the rate of wildlife reduction, and 2026 is called as year zero, where they will hit almost zero mark. Now I think this should be known to everyone, that we are just 6 years away from losing all the wild animals, and after that it's our number. So either you get driven by thinking about yourself, or either thinking by them, because if they are not there, this won't be a world, this will be just some banjar place to live. So I work with those group, and I keep myself active other than cafe also in the social space, and I love giving training. And so I used to get invitation from institutes before corona. I used to go there and give that, so I will continue that. I will continue spreading this message. So thanks that you also gave me the opportunity today to talk about it. I think it is important to know. And the problem, there are two problems in this whole thing. One is awareness, and second is options to get adopted to this new lifestyle. So I am trying to work on both right now. This is the plan.
Absolutely. So we need a lot more Ubuntus for this world to make a better place, right? So I'm
Yeah,
sure
if anyone hearing it wants to, okay, I want also Ubuntu, you get in touch with me and let's see how we can create more Ubuntu.
Absolutely. And we will look forward when you spread to more cities in India and probably abroad. So that is when you will be real champion in making a world a better place and saving the world. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, brother.
Whenever
Thank you.
we'll-
So you see, this is an art outside the cafe. It's an owl, but we call him eye opener,
Oh,
because
okay.
we consider our cafe is like an eye opener to the people who come and who get to know about us. Then we have this standing menu, part of the menu outside, and we are open now. This is my cycle I was talking about. It's always outside,
Nice.
so that I can go as soon as possible. This is a smoking bud bin.
Right.
So anybody who travels to our cafe or visits to our cafe and has to smoke, so they go out. Obviously, it's a no smoking zone inside, but we request them to put their butts in this. So this is an initiative by another friend called Waste Wheel.
Okay. Okay.
So what they do, they take these birds every weekly. They collect it, and they take that plastic stuff from inside, and they fill that into cushions and toys and furniture, sofas and all that, so that it doesn't go into
Nice.
water bodies. So
Nice.
so they upcycle it. Okay. Then when you enter it, you can read it. Can you read it? What's written?
Steps to future of food.
Food. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you are entering to the cafe. So this is a sitting area.
Yeah.
This is a tree of wisdom.
Yeah.
These are, as I was telling, so these tables are basically made of those cargo waste, and the chairs and everything. There are a lot of wall arts. So there is one here. Animals are here with us, not for us.
Yeah.
And this is art. Make a connection.
Yeah.
Make the connection. Then there's a right side. This is the right side of art. Let's rise for animals, planet, and ourselves. And because we do want people to be calm. So we call it practice equanimity. There's this art here. There's a small carom board here. Like some people who come here, they can. This carom board is gifted by one of the customer. Old carom board.
Okay.
As I was talking about the some factors, so this is kept here. How much water is needed to produce 1 kg of food? Chart is there, and these are the upcycled bottle. I love animals, just not for dinner. And change what you eat, change the world.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking you in the main room. So this is the main room. He's Abhishek. Say hi.
Hi.
He is one of the team members, strong team member from the kitchen. So this is the seat which I was talking about, taxi seat. It's an old taxi seat. So Calcutta has these yellow taxis. So it's an old taxi seat, and this is an Omni van seat. And some more decorative pieces. This is the most popular photo frame and art. As you can see, I think it looks pretty, right?
It's the Instagram one, huh? So everybody who
Correct,
comes here
correct.
will Instagram.
Yeah, they take photo here. Yes. So this is the background is Ubuntu game board. So you can play with these letters and create as much as Ubuntu you want in any direction, horizontal, vertical, triangular, or whatever. So you can play with that, and the meaning is on top. I am because we are, and there is a band of animals who are happy because they are safe here.
Yeah.
This is a concept of detox water. So this is like for anybody comes here, they are greeted with this water. It has a cucumber, mint, lemon, and ginger. So it basically, gives alkaline feeling to your body. This is an a donation box for treatment of street animals. They're spaying and neutering. This is a gift by another friend. Not your mom, not your milk. And we have sustainability section where you can this is a pencil which is made of newspaper. There are steel straws. There's a bamboo toothbrush. This is a zero waste kit. So in the whole kit you have a spoon, fork, straw, everything in one kit. And there are vegan badges, like vegan badges you can buy. And here you have vegan protein. Those are vegan supplements for protein, hemp protein and soy protein. And some ice cream boxes, empty ice cream boxes. They are like from a popular brand, White Cup. It's a Delhi-based brand. They make amazing vegan ice cream. So people can buy the tab of the ice cream also. So this is overall cafe, and this is a good idea. Which it is the reverse of KFC. So we have CFK inside, not KFC inside. So so this is to the cafe.
What we stand for is what we stand on. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, totally agree. Yeah. Exactly. We are all equal, definitely. And irrespective, all living beings are equal. I mean,
exactly.
It doesn't mean